દેશ ટીવી હું સમિત રાવલ દેશ પરદેશ ટીવીના બધા જ દર્શક મિત્રોનું હાર્દિક સ્વાગત કરું છું. આજે આપણે દેશ પરદેશ ટીવીના સ્ટુડિયોમાં એક એવા વ્યક્તિને મળીશું કે જેઓ ન્યૂજર્સીના બોર્ડ ઓફ એજ્યુકેશનમાં કેન્ડિડેટ તરીકે ઊભા છે, જેમણે ફાઇનાન્સમાં રટગર્સ યુનિવર્સિટીમાંથી ડિગ્રી હાંસલ કરેલી છે અને તેઓ આજે આપણા સ્ટુડિયોમાં મોજૂદ રહેશે અને આપણા નિમેશ પટેલ સાથે પોતાના એજન્ડાઓ વિશે અને તેઓના ફ્યુચર પ્લાન વિશે વાતચીત કરશે. શા માટે બોર્ડ ઓફ એજ્યુકેશન કેન્ડિડેટ તરીકે ઊભા છે અને શા માટે તેઓ આ ઇલેક્શન લડવા માંગે છે અને એઝ વેલ એઝ આપણે એમને શા માટે વોટ આપવો જોઈએ, તો એના માટે આપણે એમને મળીશું અને તેમના એજન્ડાઓ વિશે જાણીશું.
I, Nimish Patel, anchor for DesPardes TV today. We have a guest here, Mohin Patel, who is going to stand for member in school board in Edison. We welcome Mohin Bhai. We appreciate your presence here today for all our audience. We would like to ask you a few questions. What makes you to run and decide to run for the school board as a member? First, I want to know who you are and who is Mohin Patel for our audience, because દરેક દર્શકને જાણવું છે કે મોહિન પટેલ કોણ છે.
Thank you so much for DesPardes to host this event actually and get to know me a little more and get to know why I'm running for Board of Education and so forth. So who is Mohin Patel, you asked? Mohin Patel is basically your community leader. We want to make sure that we represent every idea that is available for our students, our community, or everybody that lives in Edison, to make sure that their voices are heard. I am them, basically. That's who I am. I am them. So Mohin Patel moved to Edison 14 years ago, but knew about Edison way before that because my family lives here. Everyone in my family is within like 3 blocks away from me. So Edison is my home. So Mohin Patel lives in Edison. Mohin Patel is a community, more not than leader, but more community person. So this is my home. This is my values that I hold here. That's what I fight for. So just to give you a background, I have 2 boys going to the school system, right? They're in high school, JP Stevens, and one is in middle school. So those kids, with every other kid that goes into the school, is who I'm fighting for and who I'm working for and who I will represent. And I'm as taxpayer as well. I live in Edison and I know the struggle that all our families go through. And we know that our culture માં જેવું છે કે પૈસાનું પાઈનું આપણે value કરીએ છીએ because we don't want to get it wasted. So my goal is to make sure that when I'm on the board, I represent both the taxpayers as well as our students. And my goal is to make sure that, you know what, every પાઈનો હિસાબ આપણે છોકરાઓની માટે છે ને એમને મળે એવી રીતે કરવાનું છે. એટલે અત્યાર સુધી બજેટ્સ બધી આવે છે અને આમાં શું છે કે 5 વોટ્સ તમારે જરૂર પડે છે કે તમારે કંઈ ચેન્જ કરવું હોય તો 9 બોર્ડ પેનલ છે, રાઈટ? એમાંથી 5 વોટ મેજોરિટી થઈ જાય અને તમારું જે ઇશ્યુઝ ને બધા જે પ્રોસિજર્સ ને બધું એક તમારે જે ચેન્જીસ લાવી હોય ને તો તમારે એ જરૂર પડે છે. એટલે એમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ શું થાય છે કે જો માઇન્ડસેટ્સ ડિફરન્ટ હોય છે ને તો it's going to clash and you're not going to get to make the changes you want to see. So Gandhiji ne kehwa che ke be the change you want to see. I am the change I want to see in our town. And that is what Mohin Patel is. I am not Gandhi, but I will try to be just the dirt in his feet. Das no das, basically. So that's what I am. So Mohin Patel is not running for Mohin Patel. Mohin Patel is running for the youth of Edison and the taxpayers of Edison and the parents that are wanting to place their voice and make sure that their kids get everything they need, because their kids are my kids too. So that's who Mohin Patel is. And basically, I'm not here for any glory or any ego or anything like that, or a position or any kind of other nonsense that goes on in other sides of our politics. My main goal is we need to make a change. It needs to be a voice that will represent the people for the values that the people hold and for the kids, because they're the future. If we're going to let them down because our selfish pride and ego and self goals, then we're doing a disservice to the next generation. And that is not right. Our legacy should be that we give these kids the platform the tools, the education, the environment, the love they need to make sure they thrive and grow and become the next Gandhis, the next people that make the difference in this world. And that's why I'm running. I don't care about anything else, but that's what I'm running. That's Mohin Patel to you.
એમના એજન્ડાની અંદર એ કહેવા માગે છે કે સ્કૂલ બોર્ડમાં 0% બજેટમાં ઇન્ક્રીઝ થયા વગર એ સ્કૂલ બોર્ડ રન કરશે. આપણો પ્રશ્ન છે મોહિનભાઈ માટે કે કઈ રીતે આ શક્ય બનશે? અત્યાર સુધીના હિસ્ટ્રીની અંદર આ શક્ય કદી એડિસન સ્કૂલમાં બન્યું નથી. તો એ વસ્તુ આપણી પાસે કઈ રીતે શક્ય બનાવશે એ મોહિનભાઈ તમે જણાવશો પ્લીઝ?
That's a great question. A lot of people are having that question in terms of our budget. How are you going to achieve your 0% pledge for 2021? See, in our culture, when we have a household budget, we know where we have to stand within our means. આપણને ખબર પડે છે કે પૈસા કેટલા આવે છે ને કેટલા જવા જોઈએ અને કઈ આગળ જાય છે, right? We have a control over that. So what we need to do is we need to bring that type of discipline in our budgeting, our spending, and our expenditures in our school budgets, even in the township budget too, yes. Right? Because you know what, a lot of people take for granted that they think that this is just an open wallet and you could spend however you want to spend. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be that way. We need to have vendor oversight. When we go buy a car, when we go buy anything, we actually look for a value. Who's going to give us the best price? Who's going to give us the best rate? That's what we need to be doing. We have vendors in the school system that have been vendors for over 20 years, but they haven't given a dime back to the school. What we need to do is go and tell them, listen, you want to still provide services to our schools? Give us a value and we'll give it to you. If you don't want to do that, we have 5 other people waiting to be taking your place, and we will do that. We're going to bring it out. We're going to make the bidding process more transparent. We're going to make more services biddable too, and not just give it to friendly people that they have already in the place. We need to change that. So these are certain things that we're going to be doing to make sure that our zero budget pledge is going to happen. I will guarantee you it will happen. And you know what? People will cry about it, talk about it. And the other thing is, the reason why we can say that with full confidence is because our team is experienced. I have a degree in finance from around. I have a business. I know how to run a budget. I know how to make a budget. I am a taxpayer and a householder, and I know that it takes money to make sure it's spent wisely. You know where it's going to go, how much you're going to spend. You need to control here or there. But I will guarantee you, our kids will not be without the services they need. That budget is going to go down. It's going to be stabilized. It's going to be a 0% increase for 2021 because we're able to do the right thinking. We're going to go line by line item on that budget and see where the money is going, how much are we spending, who can we find that is going to be giving us a cheaper rate or a better rate, and the better services too, for that matter, because there are services that we can get much better than what we're spending on. And the thing is, people haven't looked into it. And now what we need to do is we need to have the right mindsets to be in place to make sure that we look at the budget more wisely. And what we want, I was even, myself and Jerry and Virginia, we were actually having a discussion and we were talking. There are so many talented people in our town. There's accountants, there's, financial analysts, everyone, they live in our Edison. Edison is their home. And you know what? We probably are going to have an outreach with experts. And we're going to say, listen, you know what, guys, this is your home. This is our schools. We're going to need your help as well. And we could bring the outside volunteerism from our parents that are actually very interested in making a difference as well, right? The other way we're going to be able to do the 0% pledges, then you know what, we're going to need to bring a private-public partnership, right? In certain areas where we can work. So when we do that, there's no stopping us from getting that pledge and making it. Even actually, every year doing these audits, there's operational audits that we're going to be doing. That's going to be one thing that we definitely want to implement. Every year there's an operational audit, so we know where the money is being spent, we know where the money is going, every line by line item receipt is being adhered to. Therefore, you know what, there's accountability. And when there's accountability and there's transparency, then you're going to do honestly work that you need to do, right? And our goal, મારે કંઈ ખાવું નથી, મારે છે ને મારા છોકરાઓને ખવડાવવું છે. I want my kids to have the things they need. They should not be selling candies to make funding for their programs or their sports. That's not right. We're in a very rich district. 60% of our taxes go to the school system. They should be spent to provide for the kids. Why should we have to tell the kids, go sell some candy to make some money for your program? That is outright ludicrous for them to do something like that. When they need funding for their programs, they shouldn't be going to beg for it when you're actually a rich district that is paying so much money to it. So that is the reason I can guarantee you that we will definitely be able to meet that pledge and we will make it happen. Our team is the only team that has the experience to make it happen on column number 4. Thank you.
મોહિનભાઈ કોવિડની અત્યારે સ્થિતિ જે ચાલી રહી છે એમાં સ્ટુડન્ટોને સ્કૂલમાં એજ્યુકેશન જે રિમોટ લર્નિંગ ચાલુ થયું છે એ અંદર તમે શું પ્રવૃત્તિ 2021ની અંદર લાવવા માગો છો સ્કૂલમાં કે અત્યારે સ્કૂલમાં કિડ્સ માટે બહુ જ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે કોવિડની અંદર તેમનું એજ્યુકેશનમાં થોડું ઇન્ટરપ્શન થયું છે ઘણા કિડ્સને પેરેન્ટ્સને પણ કિડ્સને સ્કૂલમાં મોકલવા છે અને છતાં ઘણા 80% લોકોથી વધારે પણ લોકોને નથી મોકલવા તો એ લોકો માટે પણ તમે સેમ શિક્ષણ મળે એ માટે તમે રિમોટ લર્નિંગની શું વ્યવસ્થા વિચારી છે તમારા એજન્ડામાં થોડું દર્શક મિત્રોને જણાવજો.
So in regards to your question about COVID and remote learning, it's a great question. A lot of our parents are going through this right now. Our students are going through this as well. And it's a pandemic that has hit everybody very hard. And we need to make sure that the kids are not only mentally sound, but they are also emotionally sound as well, because they're missing out on that peer-to-peer learning as well. The majority of the time, the students learn from each other, right? They're not having that with this whole remote learning. So I get it. It's very hard. It's very, it's difficult for everybody. But the problem is that, we don't want to risk their safety either, nor the teachers. So in this whole remote learning, we conducted a survey, and the survey came back where 75% of the parents did not want to go back into the school system. They wanted to continue in a remote learning program. But unfortunately, the state is requiring that we do have a mandate, where we can have a hybrid program. So we do have the hybrid program, and we do not want remote learning to be reduced learning. That's one thing, right? The time schedule that we have, that the kids go to school normally, that's what we want to adhere to and make sure that they have the ample time to learn, right? And the key aspect is safety. Bottom line, right now, our only concern should be about safety for our students and for our faculty. Because you know what? They're the ones that are going to give the shikshan to our kids, and we want to make sure that they're well enough to do that in the future as well. So until, I guess, there's other data that comes in that shows us that there's something different, where, it's safer to be in schools or whatnot. But we definitely need to adhere to a lot of the safety measures that the CDC has, told us to adhere to, and we are actually doing that. They have actually implemented a lot of the safety measures. But at the end of the day, we need to, once it goes into effect, we'll know where the discrepancies are, where we need to make the differences and everything. And until then, we don't even know. It could be possible that in maybe a week or two in, something might be told from the governor or whoever to say, hey, listen, pull back on that or whatever it is. So we got to take it step by step at this point.
I have one more question for you. It's a last but very important one for all our audience. We want to know if you win in this election, what you will do for community and the kids of the school.
Nimij bhai, I would like to rephrase that question. If we win, right? If we win, that means we all win. The whole community wins. Taxpayers win. The students win. The faculty wins. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not running for me. I'm running for them. And we want to make sure that everything they need is given. So if we win, we will make sure that we adhere to all the promises that we made, all the agenda that we have in place. And at the end of the day, bottom line, it's for my kids, all my kids, right? In our community, our town, everybody that goes to the 19 schools in our district, it's for them. It's for the teachers. It's for the taxpayers, because we are all in this together. If we win, everybody wins.